My name's Rebecca Jones and I'm the great niece of Elva Blacker, and I've actually been intrigued about Elva for all of my life really. When she died, we went to clear her house and I remember thinking, gosh, what sort of person lives in a house like this? And I was only 6. And that was my first experience of her. But she's been part of my life always because she would be talked about at home, oh gosh, yes, well, your Aunt Elva used to da 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 da. So I had, growing up, that just fed my curiosity. And I thought, who was this Elva? She was an Edwardian child from a very straight middle class family, and she had 2 incredibly clever brothers, and they were encouraged to be clever and they were encouraged to do whatever they wanted. Elva was always wanting to do art but wasn't allowed. It was sort of forbidden because there's no money in art. You are going to follow in the family footsteps and you will work for us, you will be a photographer, you will take on the family firm, and that is what you're going to do. And so she was pulled out of school at 15 and sent to Regent Poly, which I believe is now Westminster University. And she studied there full time in photography and got a diploma. But there was obviously something in her that made her think, no, I need to, I still want to do art. So as well as studying full time at Regent and helping her family with the business, she also went to evening school for 6 years to do art. When her father then died, Elva took over the running of the family shop. Then her mother died and she gave up the shop. So she was in her early 30s and she finally went and did a degree in art at the Slade School of Art. And she came out of that with all these great ideas about going around the country and setting herself up finally as a professional artist. And she had her motorbike. She was a bit of a maverick. And unfortunately, war broke out. So she was enrolled into the WAAF at Biggin Hill, where she spent 2.5 years, and it actually turned out to be her greatest work because in an effort to keep up her own skill, she took it upon herself in her spare time to sketch and paint all the pilots and ground crew and motor transport drivers, and it turns out to be the largest collection of its kind, I understand. And it's just such a huge record of life on an RAF base. But after she left the WAAF, she just put all those paintings in her attic because people were interested in the war, but they also just wanted to forget it. And then about 20 years later, she happened to show them to someone who was like, well, hang on, this is just an incredible record. And, you've got to do something with this. And that, I believe, is how the museum... That's when she decided to I believe sell them to the museum, and hence why we're here.